Doggy, are you all right?
Sheesh, what a short welcome. Get me out of
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi. It's actually 10:45 Mountain Time. Right now we're at the Pikes Peak Cog Railway, and there's my son Andrew videotaping me as I'm videotaping him. And
You can't see the big smile on his face, though. Oh, he's doing it. You just made it.
Nathan, I don't see you. Nathan. Nate. We're all inside the Cog Railway cars, and we're trying to. This is the control panel here. As you can see, it's raining out a little bit, but it's cleared up somewhat since we've come from Denver. We were using the Hitachi palm corder for most of the trip so far since we left Rochester on the plane, etc.
16, you have a highball at 1043. Roger, highball 1043.
Let's see.
If I can get everyone to take their seat, please. We'll be on our way up the mountain.
It says the
All right,
Cog
Mike, you got a highball?
Depot.
1045 running of the 1040 train, taking us to the summit of Pikes Peak at 14,110 feet above sea level. I'd like to welcome you all here this morning, and I hope this is a memorable and enjoyable ride for you all.
I hope
Before
so
we go on
too.
too far, I'd like to go over a few things with you. First of all, I'd like to introduce the crew to you. Up front engineering this train, that is our main man, Mr. Mike Pico Doty, right up there, towards the front of the train, our engineer. And my name is Russ, I'll be the conductor. Secondly, I'd like to go over the rules with you. First of all, there is no smoking on this train at any time. That is whether we are moving or not. Are for small children, anything of value that you'd like to take home with you. My third and final rule is I cannot have anyone standing up, passing over, or walking down this brown center aisle that runs up the middle of the train. That is for your safety. This train can come to an abrupt stop in a mere number of seconds, and if you just happen to be standing up in the brown center aisle, throwing you towards the back of the train, you need to be kissing the window or the folks in the back, and I wouldn't like to see either. At this time, I'll make my way through the train to collect that left-hand side.
Left-hand side of the ticket, because if we don't keep the right-hand side, the conductor said we're going to be walking down the mountain through 14 feet of snow or whatever. We're heading up, as you can see, heading up the mountain, going up to 14,000. Turn the daytime route now. Water down there. Wow. Okay. Go ahead. Why don't you just sit there and enjoy? Pull your window down, sure, go right ahead.
Wow, look at those rocks, Dan. They're so cool. They're so cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it snow or rain?
It's rain there at that point. Is it raining in on me?
About the history of Pikes Peak and the Pikes Peak region. But before we get going too far, if I can please get everyone to turn over here to the left. I mean over here to the right. And you can tell that arouses sort of a little problem. We're going to quickly solve that problem. Instead of using left and right, which you can tell is obviously confusing, I'll say either the 2 or 3C side of the train. If I can get everyone to look my way, it'll be the 3C side of the train if that is not obvious to you, and this will be the 2C side. So instead of using left and right, I'll use either the 2 or 3C side of the train. This canyon we were making our way up is known as Engelmann Canyon, named after a late 18th century English botanist by the name of George Engelmann. And the spruce trees you see on either the 2 or 3C side of the train are predominantly Engelmann spruce, mixed in with a few Douglas firs, some ponderosa pine trees, as well as those 2 Welmo trees, the Colorado blue spruce, and that quaking aspen.
There's another view coming up there. Take whatever you want.
Wow. Wow. You bring the picture back. The clouds and all, they're pretty.
These rocks you see on either the 2 or 3C side of the train are Pikes Peak granite that is unique to this Pikes Peak region, and it gets its pinkish color from the feldspar found in the rock.
Did I get in your way?
Okay.
Huh?
Close that.
Following down below off the 2C side of the train as we made our way up through Engelmann Canyon there. That is Ruxton Creek. It flows down below from some of the 7 watersheds from the lakes up on Pikes Peak. It flows down below and eventually meets into Fountain Creek near Colorado
It
Springs.
does?
Yeah.
How come it doesn't register I took any pictures?
Then you didn't take any.
Now looking out the front of the train on the 2C side up above there, you'll see 4 boulders stacked on top of
you hear
each
it
other.
goes-
And the 4th boulder up there appears to
Sometimes it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to
That
work.
is known as Sleigh Rock up above there, just up above on the 2C side of the train at this time. And down below it here, off the 2C side, will be a smaller waterfall for you.
2 seats, 3 seats.
Did it go?
Okay, I got one now. I don't know how good it came out.
Right there.
Oh, cool. Look at that.
Coming out here out the 3C side of the train will be Minnehaha Falls. Minnehaha is an Indian
Did
word.
you miss it?
In all actuality, folks, it is higher than Niagara Falls. Right now, elevation is about 8,003.
back where we're going straight up the mountain now. Moment going up the mountain. We're starting to move again. I should say so.
But you notice the foliage is changing, right?
Yeah.
That's the green like we used to anymore.
Uh-oh. There goes the other train.
Train 11 with a minute.
Now watch the other train that's going to go by, the one going down.
Minnehaha, 8,332. What's this, an echo?
How many times have we read that number?
Minnehaha, elevation 8,392. Well, there goes that train down. We're going to be going down later.
All right, Mike. Looking at the 3C side of the train, folks, up and throughout this area, you'll notice a lot of dead trees. That was not caused by a forest fire. In fact, a little over 15 years ago, we had an outbreak of the spruce budworm and pine beetle, which embedded larvae in the bark of the tree and deprived the tree of its nutrients. And shortly after that, a fungi followed. Before showing around, there was instead of spraying pesticides, those pine beetles and budworms would fly to about 9,000 feet and then freeze to death overnight. So they just simply let nature take its course. As you can tell, it did quite a bit of damage throughout this area. The Forest Service estimates between 75 and 100 years for this area to completely replenish itself. Or something to that effect. Anyway, if you're looking at the 3C side of the train, you'll notice that large boulder that is broken off from that top rock and fallen and taken out a few trees there. Folks, although that doesn't happen too often, we do take precautions here on the Cog Railway. We do send a work train up early in the morning to check the tracks for any falling rocks or gravel or trees or snow that may have fallen on the tracks. Make sure the tracks are safe for our trains carrying the passengers, especially with all the precipitation we've been having and the shifting and the falling of rocks. We do take extra precautions around here. To sum it up, well, I propped those two smaller rocks
Wow,
under.
look at those rocks.
Thank you. And if you buy that store, I got a nice mountain cabin, I'll say, here on the 3C side of the train, equipped with natural air conditioning, a natural sunroof, natural sunken living room, and plenty of running water. Here on the 3C side of the train. I guess you can call it a sort of fixer-upper. Actually, that used to be an old concession stand used by the hikers who came from this area. It's open during the warmer months, and you can stop there for a cold drink, some Cracker Jacks, or some bubble gum. The walls on either side of us are so high we never get the direct sunlight in this area, only about high noon, so to keep this area a few degrees cooler than others. So at this time, I'd like to point out to you and try to explain to you our sophisticated Swiss-made heating and air conditioning systems on these Swiss-made trains. This is sophisticated, so if I can have your attention, your heating and air conditioning is controlled by the two silver knobs on your window. Go ahead and take a good look at those. Simply push the two silver knobs all the way to the top. Your heat is on. You pull them down, your air conditioning is on. On a day like this, your air conditioning would be pretty wet, so I encourage you to keep your heaters on for the most part. This area you're looking at out the 2C is on the train with us today. We got a few folks and a few back there. Well, I'm a Colorado native myself, lived in this area all my life. Whenever I've spoken to a Texan, they're always bragging about how big and beautiful everything is down in the Lone Star State. Well, looking up above there off the 2C side of the train, that is what we call Colorado gravel. And looking up the 3C side of the train here, in this area used to stand an old 22-room hotel, known as the Halfway House Hotel. It's equipped with a one-lane bowling alley and its own post office, and was very popular with the hikers and the people riding the train, because you could stay there for a week room and board for only about $10. But the old Halfway House burned down in 1922 from arson, and was rebuilt and then destroyed again in 26 by fire, and never rebuilt after that point.
Fastest of train 13 is the summit, looking for downhill count.
This area here is known as Hell's Gate. It's the only naturally made gate leading us to the summit of Pikes from the east side. Looking up out of the 2 or 3C side of the train, you'll notice some large outcroppings of rocks on either side of us, giving it the gate type effect.
Roger, all special train there, okay, late board.
And on the 3C side of the train here, you notice these old cabin foundations. That was the old caretaker's place for the halfway house down below. This area here is known as Rugston Park. Population 2, the caretaker and his wife. They live there in that white home that you just saw on the 3C side, caring for one of the oldest hydroelectric plants this side of the Mississippi, which will be the stone building there you see in the background. That pool down below. That old hydroelectric plant produces about 1 million watts per hour of electricity for the 2 cities down below. Rugston Park was plotted to be a major city. In fact, they began selling lots and there were cabins through here, but because of its location, plans for that major city quickly fell through. Now you may think with the train running right next to their house, if the caretakers ride the train to run their errands back down into Manitou and do what they need to do, but actually they don't very often. Down below off the 3C side of the train down there is the caretaker's driveway. It extends to the Gold Camp Road, which leads to either Victor, Colorado or Colorado Springs. Either direction, the caretaker's driveway is about 60 miles.
Wow, 60 miles. It's a long way to go down the road. It's taking quite a while.
Yeah, especially on roads like this.
Looks like it's sunnier up here. Wow.
For the clouds, that'd be nice.
That's a picture of getting over the driver's. He's going to be sitting in the front here when we go back down.
Looking up above on the 3C side of the train, this hill you see here with that rock outcropping atop it, that is a Pollard's Knob. You Indians used to stay in this area, and they'd send one Indian to the top of Pollard's Knob up there to point out to the rest of the Indians in the hunting band where the herds of animals were. Some animals commonly seen in this Pikes Peak region are mule deer, elk, bobcats and mountain lions, black bears, coyotes, and rabbits, and towards the higher elevations, Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep.
There's Nathan
In fact, the
taking
second
his
largest herd of
pictures.
bighorn sheep in the state of Colorado, right behind the one up in Rocky Mountain National Park, near Estes Park. And we do sometimes see golden or bald eagles. And we do commonly see these little furry little creatures that are a relative of a woodchuck, known as yellow-bellied whistling marmots.
Looking pretty good out there, right up here. At this point, we haven't seen any snow yet. See less trees up at this point now. 9 miles, I think.
This forest that we are traveling through, will continue traveling through, is Pike National Forest. Up until the mid-1940s, they used to allow cattle ranching up here, and as we make our way along the tracks, I notice old fence posts and old barbed wire, and that is the remains of the old cattle ranches. And when they turned this into a national forest, they designated a large area of land. In fact, Pike National Forest is approximately 1,400,000 acres, which means you can easily fit the state of Delaware inside of it. After about 80 years,
It's called Deer Park there, where the deer like to come.
and these are the popular trees whose leaves turn the vibrant yellows, oranges, and reds in the autumn season. Inside aspen trees is a substance known as salicin, the same substance found in aspirin. If you're out hiking and experience a minor headache, you can strip the bark and eat the inner bark, or strip it through it and drink it like a broth, and it would serve the same purpose as taking an aspirin.
Must be beautiful to see in the autumn. There's another sighting that we're coming to right there. Train coming down from the mountain. Let's see what happened.
Side of the train. From about the time the train opened, around 1891, to about 1938, when the gentleman moved off the Glen Cove up on the Pikes Peak Highway. And during that time of running of the Pikes Peak Daily News, the publisher, Mr. Manville Lindsay, who called it the highest publication in the world, would hop on the train down at the depot and ride it up to this point. During that time, he would collect everyone's name and addresses, and he'd hop off the train, allow the train to make its way up to the summit, and back down, and again hop on the train and present to the folks on the train an 8-page tabloid newspaper with that day's events and everyone's name and addresses, and he'd sell his newspapers for only about 2 bits, or in today's day and age, about 1/4. Train you're riding in now, train number 19. It is a Swiss-made train. The bodies are Swiss-made. We are powered by Cummins diesel hydraulic engines, 855 cubic inch, 350 horsepower, and there's 2 engines underneath each car.
Yeah, very. Mariella didn't want her picture taken. I don't know why. She's a very pretty girl. I'm just talking to the camera about my daughter, Mariella.
Now coming into Mountain View, elevation 10,012 feet. Nice little area for hikers to ride the train up to this point. Take a little break, then hike over to the bar camp. Looking at our greasy side of the train, you'll see our work train. Several of our section crew workers on it. The rest of our section crew should be up above, preparing some of the ties. See some picnic tables as well here off the 3C side. Now looking at the 2C side of the train, notice that old watering tank that is the second of 3 old watering tanks by the steam engines that might have run on these tracks. So looking down below out the 2C side of the train as well, you'll see that red sign with the trail next to it. Lead you off to the trees there. It'll lead you over to the bar camp about 1.5 miles away. And bar camp is about the halfway point of the bar trail, which extends 13 miles from just above the depot to the summit of Pikes Peak. You can stay at bar camp for one of their main 55 bucks for only about $5 a night.
Yes.
We have a little bet going on when we're going to see snow. Eddie thinks 8 more minutes. Nathan thinks 9 more minutes. And I think 14 more minutes.
I see.
You can imagine what his backside felt like when he got back down to the bottom. So he thought to himself, there just has to be a more comfortable way to make it to the summit of Pikes Peak. So after 10 years of planning, he invested $1.5 million and hired 1,000 men at 25 cents a day to build what are these car railway tracks. They started clearing things out, more or less plowing from the summit down to the depot, and started laying the track from the depot up to the summit. And after 3 years of construction on the early morning of June 30th, 1891, the first train made it to the summit of Pikes Peak. And you all might recognize the name Alden Simmons, because he is well known and famous for his Simmons Beauty Rest mattresses out of Kenosha, Wisconsin.